So what we have here is a Yugo M70A, is the underfolder designation. These guns, from what I understand, were made between 1967 and 1969, so late 60s. This one, when I bought it, originally had some incorrect components. The gas tube did not have the vent holes where you see them there, and also the bolt it came with was for a stamped gun. So, and the stamped bolt matched the incorrect gas tube, so I'm assuming at one point it went through a factory refurbish. It also had the incorrect muzzle device. You see it now with the muzzle nut. That's correct for this type of gun. It came with a slant brake. So my guess is when they disable the bolt hold open device in this gun, they also replace those components. The barrel life in this one is pretty much shot out. I used the bullet test where you stick a 7.62 by 39 cartridge in backwards and see how much of the bullet's left, and there's nothing. It swallowed it right to the case neck. So I'm going to have the builder use the original barrel just because it's an original barrel, so I want him to use it. Has a cleaning rod. We'll start from the top here, work our way back. What I really liked about this kit was the trend shower. You can see MC initials with a heart and a little arrow or something going through it. Looks like a little arrow. Then you also have the Serbian Orthodox Christian cross. I have another underfolder that has this carved in the bottom, so who knows, maybe these rifles are near each other during the conflict. We have the magazine, M64. Now, these kits are commonly referred to as M64 kits. That's not actually correct. M64s were a prototype rifle, and they never saw full production. These actually were a production gun, the first of the Yugo M70s. The front stub, cut behind the lightning cut, which I like. There's a nice focus. Look at the machining marks on that. It's pretty cool. Work our way back. We have the selector, the underfolder selector. These are highly sought after because of the M92s. People like to rip these off of the kits, but this one's original. Has the early grip with a ferrule on it. Some of these, when they were retrofitted or upgraded, were had the different grip installed. This one has the original. These are expensive. The grip alone would be like $40 to $50, but thankfully it came with this kit. The underfolder. There we go. I actually like underfolders. Some people can't stand them, but I don't find them uncomfortable at all. In fact, I like them more than the Yugo stocks, especially. This is sort of mocked up. The whole rifle will look like this when it's actually done. I'm going to have a rear section welded to the front section here. So, you basically have to just fill the gap between here with another rifle. There's people that machine parts too. I like re-welds because the receivers are as original as possible. Now, in this picture, you don't see the small parts. I put those in a baggie. Not so interesting, but these are the main components. So I'll go ahead and break this down here. Pull the front out. There's a recoil spring assembly. The top cover, which is pretty thick on this gun. The top cover, where's the serial number? I don't know if you can make that out. Barely. It doesn't really focus. This top cover actually matches my receiver, so that's kind of nice. Or I should say the receiver stub. We'll flip this over. Nice old patina on here. And there's really not any trench art on this side. Maybe there's a little square right there or something. Underneath, just have the typical underfolder area where it squishes down on the wood. This is a remnant of the old bolt hold open device, which were later removed. Here's the magazine. Nice wear on this too. Little notch for the old bolt hold open device. Bolt hold open rather. The follower later was replaced. The actual bolt hold open followers back in the day were like a standard AK follower. This is the bolt hold open for the later design. It's hard to explain, but basically they had a mechanism where you see that area that's just been smashed in there now that it actually worked as a true bolt open, where you would remove the magazine and it would keep the bolt back. But now you remove the mag and the bolt slams forward. So I don't know why they changed it. Word on the street is they just weren't reliable, so they pulled them. Very hard to find actual bolt hold open M64s / M70s. There's the selector lever. There's the bolt carrier. Bolt carrier has seen a lot of use. A little bit of corrosion on there. I'm sure the bolt carrier has a serial number on it, but I cannot make it out. This is the bolt. I had to replace the original bolt that came with the kit because it was not correct for a milled rifle. It would have worked, assuming it had space, but I like to keep things as correct as possible for my builds. There we go. The pistol grip. Every single Yugo pistol grip has a number on one side of it, which is interesting. This has seen better days, but it's totally still functional. Here's the underfolder assembly. This also has seen a lot of use, which I like. A lot of people refinish these rifles. I keep them original. Of course, the receiver is going to have to be touched up or refinished because it's going to be welded and grinded on. Whenever you have a re-weld done, the person that's doing it hopefully is aware that if you're using original receiver pieces, they must have the safety sear access pinholes welded over. That is commonly referred to as the auto sear, which isn't really correct. It's technically a safety sear, but it does the same thing as an auto sear. We have the top cover retainer pin assembly still installed. So I'll be pretty happy. When this is done, it'll be the oldest AK I have. The best I've come up with my research is that indeed this rifle is 67 to 69, so that's pretty cool. Most of my other AKs are from the 80s. That about wraps it up. If you have any kits like this, I would love to see them, so please post them up. Thank you. Bye-bye.